Innovation Unplugged from the Alabama Community College System's Innovation Center takes you inside Alabama's workforce development. Join us for enlightening conversations with community leaders and industry experts showcasing experiences, addressing key issues, and celebrating successes in the workforce initiatives across the state. I'm Houston Blackwood, Workforce Director for the Innovation Center, and I'm the host today, and I've got in studio our special guest, Alex Blevins, from Stop CDL Training. And just so y'all know, Alex and I have known each other for about 5 years now. About 5 years. Yeah. And I tell you, like, when you meet somebody and you know, like, this person is salt of the earth, good as gold, you better partner up with them real quick, and your life's going to be better for it. So that's how it is with Alex Blevins. But you're with Stop CDL Training.
Yes.
That's your private CDL training company. And we're going to talk all about your story and your journey to get that. But welcome, Alex. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Well, I've been excited about this one since we put it on the books.
Okay.
I'd never had a conversation with you that I didn't hang up or walk away from not smiling.
Yes.
Or uplifted in some way. And so solving problems or helping people. But you got a pretty interesting background, and just tell us about that. 20 years, 2 decades in the transportation world, and now you're doing your own thing privately. So just walk us through that journey in your professional story.
Well, I've been driving commercial vehicles over 20 years. There's nothing out there, truck or trailer, I haven't drove a pool, log trailers, van, reefer unit, tankers, low bars, tow trucks. And, my introduction to my transportation really started when I went to the United States Navy, unbeknownst to me then, but I was a bosun mate, and we was responsible for the navigation of the ship. I was aboard the USS Puget Sound and the Ticonderoga. And we went from country to country because of the bosun mates navigating the ship. And we got to communicate with other ships, tugboats, and helicopters. And so when I came home, started driving box trucks, still in the driving transportation industry. And this all I've known, since I've been 20 years old, and I just absolutely love it. I wouldn't want to be doing anything but transportation.
Yeah. I did not know that you were in the Navy.
Yes, I served 3 years, 1982 to 1985.
Okay. Well, thank you for your service.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So that driving a boat, different countries, talking to airplanes and helicopters and other boats, sounds like a little kid's dream.
It was exciting, and I even trained to be a signalman. That's where you'd use your Morse code with your lights or your hand signals. Mm-hmm. And and that's where my relationship built and started in the United States Navy. Started out with, meeting all the cooks, and you can look at me and tell me I didn't miss a cook. And so, but even the dispersing clerks, where, we had over 3,000 enlisted and officers aboard the ship, but because of the relationship building, I didn't have to stand in line to get my check, Dispersing clerks, hey, Mr. Alex, we got your check. It's already cash. And so, but...
You talking about when you were getting off the ship, go places, or just the paycheck?
We got a paycheck every 15th and 30th of the month.
Okay.
And so, but everybody had to stand in line to get their check. But because of the relationship, I would get mine either on the 14th or the 29th.
Okay.
And it was already cashed. So when Liberty came, I was headed off the ship.
Right. I'm not surprised by that at all. Yeah. Okay, so after you get out of the Navy, you're driving box trucks. Then what? Like you're working and.
And I started driving tow trucks.
Okay.
And I called Steve Weir, the owner of Weir Record. Called him about 8:30 one evening. No, it was about 4 o'clock one evening, but he told me come see him at 8:30 that night.
Yeah.
He interviewed me. He said, I want to hire you. He hired me, and it was great. And so he told me one day, he said, you going to take your CDL next week? I'm like, next week? He said, yes, sir. So now, I got to rush, and we had drivers that stayed late to help me get it. And the worst thing I did was start chasing profit and not value. And by chasing profit, it was just leading me here and there. But when I met different people in the Trucking Association, Mark Colson, Tim Frazier. These guys got me to start chasing value.
Mm-hmm.
And once I chased value, I didn't have to chase another profit in my life because it started coming to me just through relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Even when we started Stop CDL, Tim Frazier helped me with my curriculum. Reached out to Steve Will again. We got a place. Come on over here.
Yeah.
Tress Parker, Doug Kitchen down at Wiley Sanders. They brought me a trailer all the way from Troy, Alabama to Bessemer, Alabama.
Oh, yeah.
At no cost. Scott Smith over at P&S said, come pick your flatbed out. And, you know, we do a turkey giveaway. Brian Shoup over at Wood Fruitager.
Yeah.
Give us turkeys, and then he drive them out and help us pass them out. So it's just amazing at the relationship. And we titled it as building blocks. And because one stop wouldn't exist without the relationship.
Right. So you know, I guess when the world thinks about truck drivers, I don't know what the world thinks. You know, I had a stepdad one time was a truck driver, and my dad had a business, and those guys come, the Bud guys and the Coors guys and all those rigs and the Frito-Lay guys, they were all drivers, and I'd be so amazed. Like the parking lot would be full of people, full of cars, and cars moving, and those guys would put that truck in some crazy position and unload it and get in, and then they're out the door. And then working at Calhoun through the driver instruction, and then now at this level, man, it's always crazy to see like the professionalism that's there. And then talking to Mark Colson when he was on the podcast and getting to know him, the professional driver. You're not a truck driver. You're a professional driver, right? And there's a difference there.
Once you get a CDL, you are deemed to be a professional.
Yeah.
Because it's so much involved. And as a truck driver, putting them in tight spaces like that, you have to be a creative thinker also.
Yeah.
Because without being a creative thinker, you wouldn't be able to get it in there. Like I tell them, you don't need a mind sometimes as a truck driver, just good eyes.
Yeah.
And you follow your eyes, it'll show you where to put certain things at. And that's one reason that drives me about the industry is the professionalism of it. You know, we you get a lot of negative stuff now, but everybody in the industry is not bad. We got some great drivers, great managers, great owners in the trucking industry. And, you know, I have a story about when I drove log trucks and absolutely loved it. But because of the regulation,
yeah,
I was like, man, this ain't the job for me. But in the state trooper, they'll pull us over. But I think the Alabama state troopers is top chef. Without them, our highways wouldn't be as safe as they are. And I think every time we see a state trooper, we need to thank them for the great jobs that they do to keep our highways safe and to keep the drivers operating as a professional. Mm-hmm. And that is awesome.
To hold that line, they are professionals in the sense of their own duty, their own uniform, their own status, but they're holding those drivers to that professional status too. And in those inspections, I listened to a podcast earlier about the importance of inspections in general, and this was more of a military show, but he was talking about if the supervisors aren't doing the inspection, you know, if that's not expected on the front end and you know it's coming, you're not going to be as professional of whatever you are, whether it's a soldier or a driver or, you know, an accountant, whatever.
Exactly.
So thinking about that, like what made you think I'm going to start my own CDL company, my own training school?
I got to participate out at some of the roadside inspections I saw the state troopers doing. And I was like, man, if I start my own, we can train against this bad habit. Yeah. Because I was at a roadside inspection one time, and I had two of the students with me where a guy had a load of equipment, 2 flat tires on his trailer. The equipment wasn't properly secured like it was supposed to, and it had big boulders on it. I think some lives possibly were saved that day because of the inspection. And I said, we have to teach and train against these bad habits. And that's why I like to show that Charlie Moorcraft video. It's a YouTube video. And anytime we shortcut safety, it don't only affect us, our families, our co-workers, our companies. And this was a guy shortcutting safety, lost everything but his life. And I want to train against that.
Yeah. Well, that's my next question is how you embed that safety. So you take a person who's brand new to trucking, and if for whatever reason they chose, I want to be a professional driver. Okay, cool. Have you ever been in a truck? No. All right, so you take that person. How do you take them from, and I'm going to come back to you with an experienced driver who needs a touch-up or whatever, but how do you take that totally green student and turn them into that professional driver with a focus on safety?
Well, the first thing I do is people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Mm-hmm.
When they see that you care about them, they would buy into whatever you're giving them.
Yeah.
And we do a lot of one-on-one training. If you ain't getting it in the group, we don't just, kick you to the side. We take you and wrap our arms around you, come in early, stay late, and we continue to help you with that because it's just all about inputting. Once they learn how to apply the safety part of it, the driving going to come to you, but if you do it enough, just consistency. Mm-hmm. You're going to learn how to bag. And we got one company allow us to come to their building and teach how to bag on loading docks.
Okay.
And to open doors and close doors. So we get to go to an actual building and do that. And Wiley Sanders would invite us to Troy anytime with students to show what they do. It's one of the greatest companies out there, with they set up down there. And we try to do more than just driving around the highways. We get them destinations, and we even allow them to do a grid log now, even though it's electronic logging now, but we still need to teach how to grid log and how important it is to have in the truck with you still.
Yeah, how to understand the basics of that.
Exactly.
So really, maybe that's like Common Core math, which I take my shoes off to count to past 10. But the Common Core math, the whole purpose is to know what's in the number. Not just knowing the process in the number, but knowing what's in that number. And so maybe the grid book is to show what's in that time.
And how much time you're working with and how to know not to go over on this time or that time.
Yeah. I've never seen the electronic logs. I can imagine what it looks like, but I think knowing the paper version just gives them a really good base of understanding.
And how to manage their time.
Yeah. So let's switch over to the experienced driver. So maybe you've got a Class B driver, or and it's pretty rare now, but you've got a Class A driver who needs the Class A, but they've been doing it either through agriculture or forestry for a while, but they need to get on the road and go past their range, right?
Yes.
But they got some bad habits, like real bad habits, because they've been doing it for, maybe they're a little gray in the hair.
Yeah.
And I've never had, never had a ticket, never had a wreck, whatever. So they think they know.
Yeah.
And we get this question all the time: is, can we do a refresher? Like, especially for like municipalities, they got guys who've had CDL operation for 30 years, but never took a class.
Yeah.
Man, so many bad. So how do you coach up those experienced drivers who,
Sometimes it's great to have the experienced drivers, especially when you got a group. They come in and help with the unexperienced drivers. But when they got bad habits, those are the ones you have to coach and pull to the side and say, hey, this is how we're going to do it. We do it this way here. I understand that you've been driving this type truck for so long, but some of these habits you need to leave outside, But for the most part, the experienced drivers really have, help with training others.
So that hearing you say that, and I can just picture you doing that to, some guys been driving for 40 years. There's an art to that.
Yes.
Right. Your stuff. Like you could probably write a whole book on how to back a trailer or how to navigate through a city with, whatever kind of rig. But being able to explain that to somebody that thinks they already know, I think that's the art of the relationship.
Yes.
And that was first thing you mentioned was relationships and whatnot. I think that's extremely powerful. I'm sure every college has that approach to some degree of that professional, but when I see you, I see that's who you are.
Yes.
It's all about the relationships and treating those people right. You also have at One Stop, you have defensive driving courses.
Yes.
Now that's for like regular car people?
No, that's
all in the big rig.
All in the big rig, because we show the defensive driving video and we go over it. We even take a test, but application out on the roadway is what I like the most about the defensive driving.
Mm-hmm.
And, testing is fine, but you have to do the application, because if, they tell you to look so many seconds ahead, sometimes you can look at a car and you almost know that it's going to do something. So now you start reacting to what that car in front of you going to do, or the truck. And so that's one great thing about the defensive driving program, that once you get out there and start applying what you are learning in the classroom, it follows you on up in your career.
Do you progress them? I imagine like someone new or maybe even experienced, like they come in and you talk about this defensive driving. Do you go out for like an hour and then come back and talk about it and then go out for a little bit longer? How do you teach that defensive driving?
If we got 3 students in the truck, we let each one of them drive a turn. And so then when we get back, if we got enough time, we'll go back in the classroom and discuss what they thought about what they saw or experienced on the road. And then that way they get to collaborate with each other, because no two people sometimes see the same thing or feel the same. So, I hear what he said, okay, that makes sense. So we try to do that as well.
I saw that the very first student that ever went through Skills for Success was actually David Cole from Reed State. His son, can't remember his name, Mr. Cole. He was the very first student. Took it at Bradley Wallace's rig down there on Howes Mill Road. And we were going through, and they were taking the tour. It was just the range instruction. And the other drivers that weren't driving were all critiquing whoever was driving. Not critiquing, but they were talking about it. And I remember this one young guy who'd never been in a truck, and he was, the others had some experience. He was soaking that stuff in. And the first time around, he was awful. And then he got out, and like 3 guys went before he had his next turn. And then when he got back in there, because he listened and was like really actively listening, he nailed it.
Yes.
And he was done. He moved on past that thing. So I was really impressed to see that then. How do you balance that theory classroom versus the hands-on practice?
Well, theory classroom, we look at stuff. I'd like to show some videos of different trucks and stuff they did. And once we get out on the range, I ask questions about what you thought about the video. We get out there, and you mentioned Brad earlier. Brad Wallace and Dean Fouts, man, whenever I call them, it's like I done called 911. And they like, what you need, what kind of help we can give you.
Absolutely.
Without those 2 guys I met, 4 or 5 years ago, I wouldn't have the knowledge that I have without them 2 guys. And I thank them today for this. But, I just reached out to Dean the other day. Hey, what you think about doing this? Because of their experience and being around and, hundreds of students they done taught, it's great to help. And so, even, with the theory training, they give their thoughts on how we should do the theory or the road test. So that's why we, what we do in the classroom, we definitely do it out on the road.
Yeah, applying it.
Yeah,
I feel the same about Dean and Bradley. Dean and I, he understood what we were trying to do when Skills for Success started. Yeah. Bradley told me later, he's like, if you would just come to us and told us what you were doing, we would have helped you. But you didn't. You just did it your own way. And I love Bradley now, and we understand each other. And his truck has his logo on the front door and our logo on the back door.
Oh, wow.
And there's nothing I'm more proud of out of the Innovation Center work is that truck with those 2 logos side by side. But when I have questions now, that's who I call too.
Yes.
Often I call Bradley first.
Yes.
Because I'm like, well, he's going to give me the straight up, like bare bones, how he sees it, and then I'll call Dean, especially if I've got to change what we're doing in the college system. It really works out good. But man, CDL has been our biggest program, in the Skills for Success course. And you knew that when you were at Jeff State, you were right in the middle of it. So still is. And I wish we could find a way to do it with one stop, but it just doesn't work that way. Yeah. All right. So no doubt through all your years of training drivers and even at Jeff State or now at One Stop, you've got stories about students who've come in and for whatever reason, their progress through your course, your instruction changed their life. And maybe not just because Alex Blevins was involved, but just because that opportunity.
Yes.
Well, what kind of stories do you have, especially someone who come in who thought they wanted to be a driver but nervous as a cat? Tell me about somebody.
Well,
Tell me the good news.
Well, right before the pandemic hit, I had a great desire of doing everything that I'm doing now. You know, a lot of people had a bad time with this pandemic. You know, so many lives was lost and things, but I felt that Alex Blevins found his life during the pandemic. My purpose and my passion hit me while working at Dunn Construction. And so I was like, man, I want to do this. But once I started Stop CDL, I was given every desire and passion I had of helping people. Technicians was one of them. We had a young man come from one of the local trucking companies as a technician, and he got his Class A license. And once he got his license, the following week, he got a nice increase in his, pay. And now he called me last week, said he do less work because he's doing more road testing than turning wrenches. And so he just sang the praise of Stop CDL. And we sent 2 guys out on the road. They called me thanking me. They got sign-on bonuses, tuition reimbursement, and then they said we got our own truck.
Oh,
That's
wow.
a 2025 model.
Oh, gosh.
And so, but the one that touches me the most is a guy been out penitentiary for 2 years, and he's getting a second chance in life. And he thanked me every day. And let's keep our fingers crossed and in our prayers. He road tests this Friday for his Class A license. And because of the relationships that I have built, we got 2 companies ready to hire him as soon as he get his license. And because of the state of Alabama have the thing where they give people second chances, he was able to come out through that. And he's hungry. We start at 8. He there every day at 7, 6:45, pre-tripping the truck, waiting on me to get there. And so he just touches me every day, and I think I found a brother for life in him.
Yeah, I got to be careful. I'm a crybaby.
Hey, you're not by yourself.
My wife's like, people don't know you. They think you get this serious. Man, we start talking about these students, and oh gosh, I was driving. No, yesterday was Tuesday, so Monday. Yeah, I was talking to somebody yesterday morning, and they asked about the week, and I'm like, oh gosh, I got it today. Like today's a long day for me. Yeah. And then I got done, and it sounded in my head like I was complaining, and I thought, wait a minute. But like you set your own schedule.
Yes.
Like I got to set everything I do today. I chose.
Yes.
God willing, state lets me do it. But I chose everything I do today. And no one said no. No one said I had to be anywhere to do anything. Yes. And I had the freedom to choose to do some really fun and cool stuff. Exactly. And I made a long day for myself, but I chose it, right?
Yes.
So then I think about this young man who is working through, made some decisions, and for a while he didn't get to choose anything.
Exactly.
And now he is, right? And now you're helping him make life decisions, right?
Yes.
So yeah, I'm sure One Stop does a great job with driver instruction.
Yes.
But that human instruction manual that you're putting in him, tell me more about that. That's really why I brought you here. Yes. I don't really care about your business that much as much as I do about what Alex is pouring into these humans.
He
locked
up for 20 years, and he come, and he's coming to serve. He was like, Alex, I just want to give back. Whatever you need me to help you and One Stop do, wash the trucks, help keeping the yard straight. He just an awesome guy. Mm-hmm. And because of choices and decisions, and in life we can make any choice and decision we want to, but we have no control over the consequences. Yeah. We just have to accept it. But he did his time and accepted it, and he's just grateful for the opportunity, and he's making the best of it now. And it just, I just love it. We get to go eat lunch together. We talk to each other. And I just want to help him be who he's trying to be in life, because he's definitely helping me do what I'm trying to do and give back. And just an awesome person.
Well, you're laying those treasures up for him, for you, and taking care of that. The state and the feds do a good job of promoting and allowing people who walk that path out of incarceration and check all the boxes and work that journey, right? Because it's a journey.
Yes.
And then they get there, and now you've got this opportunity. So he skills test on Friday.
On this Friday.
So 2 days from now.
Yes.
It's like 46 hours. Okay, so he comes to you, and he takes this training with a private company.
Yes.
And just for the listening audience, like most folks may not know, but he's going to go skills test at an ALEA office or with a college?
Office down here in Tuscaloosa.
Okay. And that's with the state trooper.
With the state trooper.
With a clipboard.
With the clipboard.
And, and so I'm just going to paint the picture, and I'm trying to be as respectful as possible in this situation. But, like, this gentleman was he was incarcerated.
Yes. Right?
And there's law enforcement and policemen. And now he's walked through this whole journey, and the final person that's going to say yes to his future is another law enforcement person with a badge. And I don't know if they wear guns during these tests or not. Okay, good. I'd be nervous if they did, but still, there's a badge and uniform that's there. And so for him, like, if I'm thinking, like, if I'm this guy, and the last person that's going to say yes to my future is more law enforcement, then, like, there's more than just that air brake test and that back and maneuver and not blowing the shift, not missing a shift. Like, have y'all talked about what that's like for him? Like, for his journey to be his own phoenix, his own rebirth is another person with a badge. What's this like for him?
That's the great thing about Stop CDL. We have state troopers that can come in and talk to our students, and he so excited. We've been invited this Saturday to I can't think of the name of it, but it's about people in life that had troubles with different addictions or coming out of the system. And the young lady asked him, will he come speak? And the great thing about it, the guy that signed the paper for him to get out is going to be there also.
Okay.
And so, but he's excited about it. He's, probably going to be real excited when he see that, like what you just said, the state trooper giving me my stuff back so I can just drive this free world and make, a living for my family, man.
Yeah. I don't know, man. There's a feeling I have about that that I can't describe. Yeah. And I guess it's just the second chance, and just simply put, the second chance for him to move on. What does that do for you?
It really does well for me, because we all have made choices in life. Some of us didn't have to serve the punishment that others have, but we all deserve a second chance. Yeah. And he's getting a second chance in life, and I see firsthand he's making the best of it. It's not nothing that he's taking lightly. He didn't have all the money to pay for it, but my wife and I, we came together and discounted tremendously for him to afford to come and change his life. And so we was able to, just need to get fuel and upkeep and pay for the road test. Yeah. And so, but he and his mom is still living to see her son do something great with his life. Him and her was talking, she was on speakerphone, and to hear her tell him how proud she was of him, and just a 58-year-old man now, and the mama to tell you how proud she is of her son, because she know where you've come from. Yeah. Now she see what you're doing with your life. I had to go on the other side of the building because I didn't want my emotions to show. But, man, I would recommend anybody to meet him for who he is now. He's a game changer.
I would like to meet him.
Hey, we would make it happen.
Right here.
Okay.
Sometime in October.
Okay.
So my next question on the script, because I do scripts now. I used to not do that, but I told you I'm getting way out there with some of these guests. That was what's your personal why, but I think you just answered the why. Yeah. What it does for you, why you do these things. Yes. And I know all the other instructors around the state. I've met most of them, you know, over the last 4 years, and they all have that desire to be a professional instructor, to teach professional drivers to be safe and courteous and get home safely, and everybody around you gets home safely. And I love that. For you specifically, you started your own thing, and you know, the listening audience, like we have 23 colleges that do CDL training now.
Yes.
One Stop is not one of those colleges, but because of our relationship, I think your story is incredible. So we're here. What's next for you in that changing environment of with all the ELDT rules and whatever's new with truck technology? Obviously, you're supported by the ATA, Alabama Trucking Association, and Mark Colson, who's been a huge friend to us too. Yes. What's next for you guys at One Stop?
Well, we came up with the name, as you see, One Stop. We want to train on every type trail out there. Mm-hmm. If you want to pull doubles, we want to have doubles on the yard where we teach you how to move a dolly around, or teach you how to line the dolly up in front of the back trailer that you're about to connect to. We want to put you in a tanker loaded with water, not fuel, just so you can get the feel of the load. And we want to be able to, you know, take you where you can bag up to a dock and communicate with security guards and dispatchers and all of this on that thing. So we want to be that one-stop shop where you get everything when it comes to trucking. You know, our state troopers, they come out and talk about roadside inspection. Sometime we'll say, hey, can you meet us at the rest area, the truck stop? And we take our students there and they go through their thing of what to do to stay safe on the road, what to expect when you get pulled over, and what they're looking for. And so, you know, we teach safety, like I don't allow flip-flops on our yard. No. You got to come here with laced-up shoes on. You know, you can have a T-shirt on, but it can't be all graphic. So we try to teach them how to respect the industry. And so, but...
Well, we talk about that too, like in our course, in our theory, like whatever logo you got on, it's marketing, it's probably required to wear it, but you're also the company. You are the company. Exactly. When you get out of that truck with that logo on, even if you're private and you get out looking a hot mess, like, well, what does that say about the inside of your truck, or how you going to treat the truck, or how you going to drive that truck, man?
And that's one reason, or one way state troopers look at how you look. So they know if you looking like this, what your truck look like.
Yeah, Gary Weaver talks about his dad carried a whisk broom, you know, and like would clean out the cabin. And I think, was it Deion Sanders when he went to Colorado? Like kids were showing up in Crocs and untied shoes, and he was like, "No, like you're coming to work, people. Like
exactly.
Get your life together." That's true. A little short on time, Alex. In 5 years, it's Friday afternoon. You've done your work all week, and you're thinking about what you've done at One Stop from day one till this Friday. What are you toasting
to? The success in the lives that we have changed. And if it's Friday and somebody need help on Saturday, then we'll toast that we'll meet them on Saturday morning to help them finish what they got.
Success and opportunity.
Yes.
Absolutely. Where do people find you, Alex? If they want to get a hold of One Stop CDL, where do they go?
They go to onestopcdl.training. That's onestopcdl.training. Okay. And it's you can look at our page, and at the bottom you can leave contact information, and we'll reach out, or you can call 205-729-4200. That's 205-729-4200.
Perfect. I'm sure the world will be interested to hear all that. Alex, this has been a very informative and profound session with you, man. I'm thankful for you to come down and tell us your story. The stories about your students.
Yes.
And we're going to follow up with your gentleman who's testing this Friday. Yeah. That sounds like something I need to experience, that our listeners need to experience. Yes. But thank you for being here. This wraps up another episode of Innovation Unplugged. Remember, guys, to drive safe. Pay attention to the drivers. They're trying to get home too, just like you guys are. And you know, folks like Alex are teaching them what to do, what not to do. So thank you again, Alex, for being here. This wraps up another episode, guys. Remember to like, subscribe, and share on your favorite podcast platform. Thank you, sir. Well done.
Thank you so much. Yes, sir.
Absolutely. That was fun, man.